Money flows to where it is quoted, managed, and well utilized. There are underlying principles as to how to do this well. In this series of broadcasts, Sam Afemikhe unveils practical time-tested steps to pursuing and achieving value for money with available limited resources. Sam is a chartered accountant and a leading value for money expert. He is also an author with extensive post-qualification experience in Africa and Europe. Sam is the group managing director of SSAC, Advisory and Professionals, which has carried out several value for money reviews, audits, and value for money systems implementation in the oil and gas industry.
Welcome to the Practical Application of Value for Money Principles Series number 6 with Sam Afemikhe. Today we will continue our discussion on how to actualize strategy by looking at how to translate the discussions and knowledge about strategy and strategic objective into practical action that drives the success of a program, a company, or a nation for that matter. Last week, we discussed disciplined people, which describes the quality of leadership that delivers success and how they build teams before sharpening their strategy focus. Today, we will be discussing the second element of the flywheel of success, which is disciplined thought. Basically, breakthrough results come about by a series of good decisions, diligently executed and accumulated one on top of the other. The route to success is not free of difficulties. No one is free of them. What matters is how we deal with them, and disciplined thought takes us through how to handle this to drive optimal and sustainable success. According to Jim Collins, it is important that you confront the most brutal facts of your current realities, but retain the faith that you will prevail at the end. This will enable you to come back from difficulties not weaker but stronger. It is most unimaginable that this philosophical statement underlines what separates the good from the great organizations of this world. Jim Collins situates this duality of accepting the brutal facts of the current reality but focusing on the ultimate goal in what he called the Stockdale paradox. Let us learn the elements of this very powerful concept. To achieve this, two distinct forms of disciplined thought is required. The first part is confront the brutal facts of your current reality. Let's look at that very well. Confronting the brutal facts motivates more than vision. Facts are better than dreams. How do you motivate people with brutal facts, particularly when it is said that motivation flows chiefly from a compelling vision? If you have the right people with the right seat on the bus, as we discussed earlier, they will be self-motivated. The real question then will become, how do you manage in such a way as not to demotivate people? It's not to motivate them, but to demotivate them, because they are already motivated. And one of the most single demotivating action that can be taken is to hold out false hopes, which you see in many places, soon to be swept away by events. Yes, leadership is about vision, but leadership is equally about creating a climate where the truth is hard and brutal facts are confronted. How do you create an atmosphere where truth is always hard? 1. Lead with questions, not answers, until there is a clear picture of reality and its implications. 2. Engage in dialogue and debate, not coercion. Use the formula argue, debate, agree, implement, review. Does it sound like, again, program logic? Conduct autopsies. That's point number 3. Without blame. And you go a long way towards creating a climate where truth is hard. Finally, Build a red flag mechanism. In an information age, the key lies not in better information, because we are flooded with information these days, but in turning information into information that cannot be ignored. That is element of brutal facts. Then the second part of the paradox is having an unwavering faith that you will succeed amidst the brutal facts of the current realities. How can this happen? There is a sense of excitement that comes in facing head-on the hard truth and saying, we will never give up. We will never capitulate. It might take a long time, but we will find a way to prevail. Great companies face significant adversity along the way of greatness, one sort or another. In every case, management team responded with a powerful psychological duality. Let us clearly understand the duality of the Stockdale paradox by starting to ask, who was Admiral Jim Stockdale? To enable us to situate this paradox very perfectly. Admiral John Stockdale was the highest American officer in prisoner of war camp in Hanoi, Vietnam. In response to the question, which prisoners did not make it out alive, he responded, "Oh, that's easy, the optimists." This is shocking, as you would obviously expect that the optimists would be the ones that would make it alive. Surprising, to me too. The optimists, they were the ones who said, we are going out by Christmas. And Christmas will come and Christmas will go. They will say, we are going out by Easter. Easter will come and Easter will go. And so, okay, we are going out by Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving will come and Thanksgiving will go. And they died of broken heart or met expectations, aspirations. And James Wesley says that I never lost faith in the story. I never doubted, not only that I will get out, but also that I will prevail in the end and turn the event into defining event of my life. And that is the very important lesson that we draw from this paradox. You must never confuse faith that you will prevail in the end, which you can never afford to lose, with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current realities, whatever they might be. Hear this from Jim Collins directly. To this day, I carry a mental image of Stockdale admonishing the optimists. We are not getting out by Christmas, deal with it. Life is not absence of difficulty, but how they deal with the inevitable difficulties of life. In wrestling with life's challenges, the Stockdale paradox says that you must retain the faith that you will prevail in the end, and you must also confront the most brutal realities of your current situation. It has proved a powerful tool for coming back from difficulties, not weakened, but stronger. Not just for me, he says, but for all those who have learned the lesson and tried to apply it. So you too should learn the Stockdale paradox and apply it. The good to great leaders were able to strip away so much noise and clutter and just focus on the few things that have the greatest impact. They were able to do so in large part because they operated on both sides of the Stockdale paradox, never letting one side overshadow the other. Research studies on victimization looked at people who suffered serious adversity, prisoners of war, for example, those who suffered cancer patients, accident victims, and survived. And they found that this group of people fit into three distinct categories. First, you have those permanently dispirited by the event. They be destroyed by what has happened to them. Secondly, those who get their life back to normal. They say, well, thank God, I'm back to where I am. But finally, those who use the experience as a defining event that made them stronger, made them better. Great leaders turn great adversity into opportunities for tremendous success. They respond to adversity with powerful psychological duality, accepting brutal facts and absolute faith that they will prevail at the end. I find this the most potent way to entrench disciplined leadership and their team in the strategic goal. They get the right people to take the right seat on the bus, infuse them with a collectively agreed strategy which they hold steadfastly, and then they work on it in a way that they prevail, whatever the circumstances. You should imbibe the concept of focusing on the brutal facts of current reality, but never lose faith that you will prevail, whatever the circumstances, as a fundamental part of your strategy, and you will well be on the way to do more with less by doing the right things and doing things right. Yes, you can, if you focus on achieving disciplined thought as set out in the Stokely Paradox. Please do watch out for the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Value for Money with Sam Afemikhe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Value for Money TV, and connect with Sam Afemikhe on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Direct all inquiries to info@samafemikhe.com or call +234 818 492 2710.